Hi, I'm Lauren Buzzeo, Tasting Director at Wine Enthusiast, and we're here today at Reyneke Wines in Stellenbosch. Johan, you offer a really unique tasting experience here at Reyneke. Now, tell us a little bit about how you take people through that are visiting the winery.
I think the word would be a holistic tasting experience. So before we take people to actually taste the wines, we want them to understand how these wines are made, or more specifically, how the wines are grown. Then we take people to the vineyard, and in the vineyard, we look at the role that everything plays. So that could be the soil life, the plants, the weeds that grow in the vineyards. It could be the insects, the birds, the role that all the animals on the farms would play. It could be the importance of the people who work in the vineyards, because what we're looking for on this farm is a synergy between all the different role players, and that is essentially what we'll do as almost an educational process for people who come for a tasting. Once we've done that, we'll go into the cellar itself. So speaking of philosophy, it would be terroir-driven wines as opposed to gymnastics in the cellar. And once we've covered those bases, we'll go to the tasting room and taste through the actual wines themselves.
So what does being biodynamic really mean to Reyneke?
The first thing I always say to people about biodynamics is they must realize it comes from a time where people had a spiritual understanding of life in general and farming in particular. But it's actually a beautiful system. First thing for me, and this is my take on biodynamics, is that the farm must be seen as an individuality or as a closed, self-sufficient system. The second is the emphasis we put on inherent value as opposed to commercial value, and that would pertain to the life in the soil, the weeds, the animals, the people who work here. And the third variable is the use of the biodynamic preparations. There are 8 of them. They're essentially herbal preparations, and then you also have the cow horn manure and the horn silica. Last but not least would be the biodynamic calendar. And according to this, different parts of a plant are favored at different times, depending on the cycles of the moon and the constellations.
Lauren, I'm going to show you first our Reyneke Reserve White 2012. This is 100% Sauvignon Blanc. It's our top white wine. Put your snorkel into it. So kind of lots of verbena, crushed rocks, limestone kind of comes through on the, or chalkiness on the palate especially. You know, it's kind of got this minerality line that runs through the wine, just kind of keeps it nice, tight and focused, because I think that's what you really need if you want the wine to mature in the bottle for years to come.
There's a lovely soft spice and almond note that carries through on the finish.
Since we don't necessarily kind of want to induce a lot of oak-derived flavor, we opt for French oak, and then also we only go for light toasting. I really want to reproduce the taste of the fruit in the vineyard. I think it's every winemaker's dream, it certainly is mine, to find a specific site which is so unique that nobody else can do it. And I believe Reyneke is that site. The second one we're going to taste is the Reyneke Syrah 2012.
What kind of style would you say for consumers to look for in this Syrah?
We probably stand with one foot in the new world and the other one in the old world. Put a gun to my head and say, which is the last wine you're going to drink? I'm going to say it's going to be a Schaaf 90 Hermitage. And so obviously our style is more kind of in that direction.
There's so much going on the nose there. The bouquet is just really intricate and layered. You really pick up a lot of that spice, but also, ripe but not overdone fruit.
The flavor of the wine shows kind of more traditional spice and aromatics like you would know it from the Northern Rhone, but the wines aren't as hard and as linear. There's still quite a lot of juiciness and flesh on the palate, which makes it just so much more drinkable and enjoyable. 2012 vintage is definitely ready to drink, but I think by waiting 4 or 5 years, you're definitely going to be rewarded, and you're going to get more and more fruit coming out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So this wine is really a pure expression of the terroir that you guys work so hard to preserve.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to laugh hysterically the whole time, though, because we want to get actual action.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Marina. I know, I'm just teasing.
That's correct, yeah.
Shit, Lauren!
Oh yeah, sucks to be you.
She's no
Tough
sympathy
life,
for me
isn't she,
whatsoever.
isn't it?